Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a quick recap video of the trades that I took this morning. So let's dive right into it. As you can see, I ended the day at $11,761. Yeah, it was a slow day, nothing to, hit it home. Not that much liquidity either, but I just made sure to keep my risk low, down as much as possible, and just try to get as much as I can from the market. So, I mean, that's all I did. And I wouldn't say that, oh, I woke up this morning thinking that I'm gonna, kill it in the market. But today's just one of those days where I just made sure that I kept my risk as little as possible and let my upside run as much as I can. And, obviously take little profits on the way up. So, let's dive into GFAI. That's how I started the day. I'll show you quickly where I took the trades. So right when in the beginning, in the morning, right at the market open, I didn't take any pre-market trades today. As soon as it opened up, I think I took one trade here. I was watching GFAI and I was watching BABA actually. Yeah, I was watching this large cap stock because I didn't really think that we're gonna get much in the small caps given the past few days. So I was just watching Alibaba at the market open. So I took one trade here and I took one trade on GCTK or GFAI. Anyway, I took, so I'll start from the beginning. I think the first trade was on BABA. I took it right on the 1 minute. I took it off of the bounce on the 9 EMA, and that was my stop too. So I just took it and then I exited out here, made about like $400 or $500. And then GFAI, I think I saw it right after. I think I took two trades. I was in two positions at a time. I took another trade here and made about $1,000, I think, on GFAI. And then I think throughout the day, I give back a little bit on GCTK because it was chopping around. Let me pull that one up too. Yeah, it was chopping around here. I can't remember, but I'll just go through the trades that made me the most throughout the day. So the first one started on GFAI, and that's right here. So this is a 5 minute, 1 minute chart right here. I took it right as I saw it here. Like right as soon as it came up here, I just punched it like a few thousand shares, 4,000 to 5,000 shares. And then I wrote it all the way up because I knew that once it starts reversing back up, the chances of it going actually higher and making a new high a day increase so much. And we see this pre-market pivot right here earlier in the day, as you can see on the 5 minute chart here. I knew that we crossed it. We only pierced it a little bit in the beginning, and then when we made the next move, I knew that it was gonna. I'm just gonna put this pivot right here. But anyway, so I knew that it was gonna go up here, and that's where I made about 4 to 5K. So that was a first big trade, and then I was slowly adding. More and more profits on. I was watching ELOX as well, and after GFAI, and then I just completely stopped after I made like $4,000, $6,000 actually on GFAI. I just stopped completely. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I know that. Look at this daily chart. It's a continuation stock. I'm even surprised that it made this move. So once it made that, I thought about taking a trade up here, but I didn't. I just didn't take that trade. And then GCTK started going up. So I was watching it. This one too, I traded it pretty well today, I would say. As soon as it made up high here, I'm like, you know what? I think it's probably going to make its way up to the pre-market pivot, which was right here. it went crazy on Friday after hours. So I knew that this was a pivot that it might, act like a magnet. So we got there, we pierced it a little bit, and then I just took this pullback. I took this pullback, and then I held it all the way through as it was breaking up here, and I took some profits here. And then as soon as it broke up here, I took trades in here, I took trades in here, and then when it went up to 9 EMA, I also bought this pullback, and then I rode it. I was just scaling out all the way here, and then I also did the same thing again. I just rode the 9 EMA. I was just buying the dips off of the 9 EMA, and then here I knew that if it's gonna make a new high, it's probably gonna make a new high if it does. So I sold some here right before it did, and then I sold the rest at the break. And then as we see, it just came down here. But I knew the action wasn't done yet. I was just gonna see how it plays out. It did this. I didn't touch it here. I think I took one trade here, and I had a loss, just small loss, like $200-300. And I knew that this is probably not gonna go anywhere. It probably needs a bigger pullback. And then I took a break, and I completely missed this area right here. And then I come back here. Yeah, I think I missed the whole thing. I missed this whole thing here as I took a break. And I'm like, man, I just missed the biggest. You know what? Actually, I came back, and I happened to see this right here, this candle. And then I'm pretty sure I took a couple of trades, just quick scalps. At this point I was pretty good on the day. I'm like, I don't see a reason for me to, push it further. If I was just starting out and if I was down or something, I might have taken a few more stabs, but I think I took a couple stabs here, and then I just got away. As soon if I was just scalping, so the stop losses were pretty quick. If it didn't go my way, then I would just, let it go. And then it did this pullback. I don't know if I took any trades here, but at this point I was just taking it easy. I wasn't really pushing it. And then BNRG, throughout the day, it just played with me, right? I just couldn't get a winner on that one. I'll tell you exactly where I lost all the money. So I missed this halt. I took the halt open, and I bought the dip, and then obviously it didn't go anywhere, and I think I sized in too much. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna let this roll. I know I'm on a green trading streak during that time, so I took a trade, and I think I lost like $1,000 or something, and that brought me here. But then I wasn't able to take any trades here. I think I might have made some back here, and then it halted up again. Basically just didn't trade properly on this one. Just kept losing money. I think I took another trade here too, and I was red, and I wasn't expecting that it's gonna come back up again. And when I saw this, I wasn't really interested. When I saw it here, I'm like, you know what, this is probably gonna break, and it's probably gonna go break $3. But obviously when I took that trade, I think I cut it right here, or else it would have been a way worse of a loser. So then I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to touch this now. We'll see if it really opens up. So I just left it alone. And then, so we got, then we got one more, ELOX. Let's pull it up on this one. ELOX, this was a tricky one. I wouldn't say, I had the cleanest trades, but I just kept taking little stabs. So I knew when I called it out in the morning, I called it out in the chat room. I said, this is going to go, because it was right around here, right at this spot right here, around $7 or so. And it was just coming up above the VWAP. And I'm like, you know what, guys, just watch for this. If this breaks above, this has so much potential. I called it out in the chat room. I said, this has high potential of it going and meeting the 200 EMA. And it did exactly that, but in a very tricky way. So it did this. I completely missed this. I think I was focused on something else. I think BABA. So I missed this whole move. I missed this, pretty much the whole thing. It goes and touches the 200 EMA, and then I catch it. And then it just went sideways. I'm like, you know what? Maybe there's something more here. So I took little stabs here. I think I was red to begin with. And then I took this trade right here. I knew that 1, 2, 3, if it like 3 tries, it would have had to drop down. When I saw it hold up right here at the 9 EMA, when I saw this candle, I think I even got in here and then I closed it because it was going sideways and it was very, very slow. I mean, look at the volume here. It just, I'm like, I don't want to take a board. Am I taking a boredom trade? Look at the volume. It's 12,000, 22K shares on the 1 minute. I mean, that's nothing. The level 2 wasn't even moving. So I covered it. And then when I saw this, I think I took a few thousand shares and I'm like, you know what? It should have broken down. It didn't break down. So it's probably going to break the high of this pivot right here. So I was waiting for the break of this. And then it did exactly that. And I even held it here. I was calling it out in the chat room as well that, you know, this is going. I was expecting a little bit more of an action, but I kept taking profits throughout the way. So I didn't care. And then it does this. I think I took a couple of trades and I think I wasn't getting anywhere in this area. I tried to take one here because this was the end of the move and I'm like, you know what, the drop back should be a lot quicker. I know my goal overall in the day, my target when I was, you know, doing my morning prep, my target was at the 200 EMA and a little bit of a break of the 200 EMA. It already did that, and you know, this was already done. So I was also telling myself, why am I, you know, still on this? I don't need to be part, like the target's already met. But for some reason, it wasn't breaking down like how other stocks that, you know, usually are about the same and they go and meet the 200 EMA. It wasn't breaking down as fast enough. So I'm like, there's probably something where it's asking to go more, because look at GCTK, you know, this right here is breaking and going way above. GFAI, it broke and went a lot above. So, you know, this is how I look at the market, guys. So, you know, if you want to, I focus on how the levels are being met or being broken, or how are they respected overall in the market. So that's what I was seeing, and I'm like, maybe there is a little bit more in ELOX. So I was waiting for it, and then when it didn't go down here, I took this and I'm like, you know what, it's definitely gonna break 9 here, and then boom, we go here. And then the best trade of all was actually, yeah, no, this, I took a trade and I was done with it in this area. This is where I made most of the money. Actually, not even here. Just unclick. Right in this area. When I saw this go up, I took a trade in this area, and I think that's where I made about 3 grand. I was holding the whole way. You know, it was fishy. It didn't feel the greatest because the level 2 wasn't moving. I'm like, you know what, at any time I could just get shorted on or get flushed into. So, but I knew that if it's, because it's holding here, it has some potential. And the level 2 action was also better because it wasn't like the spreads were closing up. It wasn't, you know, they weren't just very spready. The spreads were closing up as the movement was coming, and it was one way. When the volume is so low, when it's not as high, what's the volume here? Let's look at it. 59K, 50K-ish, right? So it's relatively very low volume. So when the volume is low, you can kind of, it becomes easier in a way because the movement just goes one way. It doesn't retract back all the way down to, like, you know, it's not going to go up like 20, 30 cents and then it's going to come down like 20, 30 cents. When these high spread stocks, when they have higher volume, that's when they tend to do that because there's a lot of crowding. But in this, it was only going up and I just kept holding. I'm like, you know, now it's probably going to break 9, and then it broke 950, and I put that on the chat room as well. So I hope you guys, some of you guys took that. But, and then Another one is BABA. So the trades, I took one trade here because I knew that, you know, on the daily we're in a bullish wave because of, you know, the good news and everything that's coming out. I think the companies are splitting up. So I took a few trades here, and then I took another trade here because I thought it was gonna, you know, 1, 2, and the third point was gonna hold. I was in the profit. I sold like some, and then I just closed the other trade, the rest of the trade break even. So I was up. I did make a small profit on here, but it wasn't successful because I was hoping for it to go at least break the 20 EMA, but it didn't do that. And then I took a trade on this pullback right here. I know I've been studying the charts and I've seen that this action right here, you can't really trade this, but I knew that the market just turned around and it was just, you know, making new highs. So I'm like, I know I've been, BABA is like one stock that is bullish overall, so let me see if I can get a trade there. So I took a trade and I held all the way here to 170s and 80s, and I took profit right there as it was chopping around here. I think, yeah, like right here, and I was taking some profit as it was going up. So that's all I have. That's all the trades that I took. And then, yeah, one last ticker right before we closed up. Before I closed up, PLTK halted up on some news, and this is like a mid-cap stock, so a higher float stock. So I tried to take a dip here and didn't work out. I was only down $100. I'm like, I should probably close up, but I took one more stab and I had to do it for some reason because I just didn't like that even figure of 12K. So I had to give back a little bit more, and I lost about $400 on that one. So I ended up the day at I think some SEC fees are also taken out. So like I ended up on the day at 11,600-ish. So yeah, that's all I had. Hope you enjoyed the recap, and please let me know if you took any trades with me or the same trades that I took on the same takers in the comment section. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.